Thank you for joining us on Torchlight Productions Radio Network, an exclusive podcast of Torchlight Productions Recording Studio in Bealsville, Maryland. For more information on Torchlight Productions Recording Studio, you can contact us at 301-801-6868. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Thank you for tuning in once again to Torchlight Productions Radio Network. My name is Mike. I'm the producer here at Torchlight Productions Recording Studio. And I have my sidekick here, Jeff Veit, the engineer.
How you doing, Mike?
And we are joined with Rick Ricker and Joyce Codd. Rick, good to have you.
Great to be here.
Joyce, good to have you here with us.
Thank you, Mike. It's great to be here. Rick
is a client and a session player here at Torchlight Productions. He's been working with the studio for quite some time, hasn't he, Jeff?
Yes, he has. He's been here quite a few times in the past. In fact, he was instrumental. No play on words there.
Nice pun.
He was instrumental in a song that I'd written years ago called "Bringing Roxy Home," and I'd asked him to come in and lay down some beautiful bass tracks, as well as I think you laid down some dobro tracks as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Just beautiful job that you had done on that. Yep.
So he's done a lot of work here at the studio, and great musician. I haven't heard him play. Actually, I haven't heard him play anything yet. I've only worked with him after the tracks have been recorded. But I hear he plays a lot of different instruments. Not at one time.
Yeah.
Not that I know of, anyway.
I'm working on it.
You're working on it, okay. So, Rick, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started in music? How long have you been playing?
I picked up piano lessons in elementary school, 3rd grade, and played, had lessons for 3 years, and finally realized I was just playing by ear, and told my mother, save some money. And, because I'm just playing by ear, I'm not really studying like I should, but it's all coming naturally, which is a God gift for sure. And then in 6th grade, at 12 years old, I asked them if I could get an acoustic guitar, and they got me an acoustic guitar, and I picked that up. And I think there was a lot of enjoyment listening to Johnny Cash singing "If I Were a Carpenter." I just loved that song, so I wanted to play guitar. And then the year after that, I got an electric and played in neighborhood bands for a few years through junior high school. I was about 15 or 16, and my older brother, who was also a bass player, he was playing in a blues band, and he was also getting ready to venture out. He was in his final year of seminary. He was going to have his first church in Western Maryland, and he was going to be leaving, so he was grooming me to be his fill-in in a blues band. So I got some great experience playing the blues, which was just a great starting point to learn the bass and all about it. And it's funny too, because I think the one thing that taught me the most was Chicago 2 album. I would sit in the basement and play that thing till the cows come home, and that taught me so much about the bass.
Wow.
Was that the one that had the brown wrapper on it?
No, this was the blue double album,
okay.
And it had 25 or 6 to 4. It had Color My World.
Great song.
So I'm learning to play Color My World with the piano, and I'm playing the bass lines to all these really cool songs, and it really taught me a lot. And I played in the blues band for a couple years, and then actually found some friends probably towards the latter part of high school, playing some good old rock and roll, Southern rock, Allman Brothers and stuff like that.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it was all good music, and I enjoyed it, and just carried it on. And later in the 90s, I started playing in praise bands at church, and really started grooving. It was a lot of fun. So and it's just been a blessing ever since.
Yeah, people that know me know that I'm a blues fan myself, and I cut my teeth on the blues. So
oh yeah, it's such an emotional type of music.
Yeah.
When you get into the early Allman Brothers, and you hear some of the great stuff, Stormy Monday, all those great tunes like that. Just really a lot of soul there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So Rick, tell us how you and Joyce met.
Well, last June I'd lost my wife, and hadn't really thought about doing anything, like needing any help or in getting through that. It was just kind of like God was kind of helping me through that. And then I'd volunteered at a senior home in Mount Airy, and I continue to do so. Volunteered for years since my mother had passed. That's where she lived. And I heard about this grief share class, and it was faith-based. And I think that was really what I wanted to have, something faith-based. and scripture oriented. And that started in July, the end of July last year. And Joyce happened to be the teacher. And so we ended up, starting the class, and there was something really cool about her. And as we went on, it was probably 12, 13 week long class. And the longer we went with the class, the more I saw how she interacted with not only the older folks, but with the younger folks and stuff that also had experienced loss and stuff. And I knew she was a very caring individual with a lot of love in her heart, and just very, very just super cool about that. And that's how we ended up having that class together. And then there was a little bit of a break, probably a month or so, and we had planned on having a dinner from everybody in the class. And so, she said, well, I'm going to go get Miss Adrian, who lived in the senior home, and she had a walker, and I'm very experienced with the seniors and what they can and can't do and how much help you need. And I told her, I said, look, let me meet you there, and I'll help you, because my uncle lives right down the street from there, and I'm going to get him, and we can all go together. So we did. We took them all together to dinner, and then afterwards we brought them all back. And I told her, I said, I'll drop you off here. I'm going to go drop my uncle off, and then I'm going to come back and see how you're doing with Miss Adrian. And so when I came back, she had her all taken care of, and and I gave her a hug, and I said, we make a really cool team. And there was just something about that. We just really had a good time there. And the next day I texted her and said, I really enjoyed doing that. And then she brought up, let's have dinner. So the following Friday we started to have dinner together, and it just kept growing through December. And it's been a blessing ever since, and she's going to be my wife.
Yes, I am.
That is fantastic. I was very happy to hear that when you told me that the other day.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations.
New engagement.
Yes, thank you.
So, Joyce, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a poet, correct?
Yes, I've been writing poetry probably since I was around 19 years old. Wrote about my dad, my mom, different fun things from my friends at work. I just had it just came to me. So I would just write it down quickly and swiftly, and there they were, So this song actually came to me last May. And I never written a song before. It's always poetry. But I felt this time that it was actually a song. And it was about my husband. My husband passed away 8 years ago. And so it was about the love that we had shared. And so I usually write about that. I'm very, Lord's placed a tremendous amount of, love and compassion in my heart. And it just comes, he just gives me the words, and I write them down freely. So
very nice.
It's not me, it's him. So
very good. Yeah.
And so I'm guessing that you had discussed the song with Joyce.
Well, this is interesting. This is, again, all about our Lord, in a sense that Christmas Day we got together towards the latter part of the day, and we were just, watching TV, hanging with the family and stuff, and she just said, have you ever written music before? And I just said, well, not really written music. And she said, well, I have a poem that I'd love to put to music. And she explained to me it was about her husband and, the life they had together up until his departure to heaven. And she's, would you look at it? So I looked at it and I said, okay, well, send it to me. Send it to me on the computer. And so she did. And I said, well, I'll give it a try. So.
Yeah, I think the interesting part about that too was that once I had it, I asked a couple of friends of mine who do music, and they said, well, I might have somebody, and somebody else says, well, I'll give it a try, but it just never seemed right. And so when it just hit me that night, I said, why don't you try this? You play instruments and all that. Maybe this might, just see what you think. Mm-hmm. And that's how it kind of went. There was a few other people I could have put it with, but it just seemed right with Rick.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was, and then I was very, very glad to hear you had called me up. It was probably about a month or so ago, I guess, maybe a month and a half ago. Yeah. And you'd asked me if you could record it here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I said, absolutely. I said, wow, thank you. I'd be honored.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful story. of how it all came together. And when you gave Rick shared the poem with Rick, from what you were telling me, it only took a couple hours for you to start coming up with the music. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was December 26th, day after Christmas, which also my dad's birthday, he's been gone a long time ago. And I just, I got up that morning and fed the cat, did the old traditional stuff. And then I went, you know what, I've got to do something here. I got to work on this song. And before I even turned the computer on to get the words out there, check the email she'd sent me, I prayed to God that he'd give me something that was going to really just work, because all I wanted to do was make her happy.
So what's the name of the song?
Forever and Always.
Forever and Always. Such a beautiful story. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to debut the song right here on Torchlight Productions Radio Network. Written by Joyce Codd and Rick Ricker and performed by Rick Ricker. Here is Forever and Always. Enjoy.
Till death do us part, forever and always, my true love, my partner for all of my days. You're the light of my life, my dream that came true. There's no greater love that I found in you. Those words from that cowboy swept that girl off her feet. For there's no one, not one, who made her heart skip a beat. When she looked in his eyes, she saw the love that was pure. And being wrapped in his arms, she felt safe and secure. His dreams became hers as their past became one. For the heart of that girl, the cowboy surely won. She was encouraged, uplifted as he stood by her side, as the cowboy would whisper these words to his bride. Till death do us part, forever and always, my true love, my partner for all of my days. You're the light of my life, my dream that came true. There's no greater love that I found in you. It's been 7 years since he rode off in the sun. For the Lord showed that cowboy his work here was done. That girl is not ready, but with God ever near, she whispered, "Hey cowboy," and these words in his ear. Till death do us part, forever and always, my true love, my partner for all of my days. You're the light of my life, my dream that came true. There's no greater love that I found. Yes, no greater love that I found. No greater love that I found in you. I found in you.
Such a beautiful song, very well written and very heartfelt. You definitely feel the emotion in that song. I suppose this has been really healing for both of you, the relationship, the whole story. I'm sure with what you have both been through and experienced, I'm sure it's been really healing.
Yes, it really has been. It's, when you get words like that and you see it on paper, it's beautiful. It's beautiful words. But when Rick sang it came to life.
Yeah.
It sure did.
Yeah, it was amazing. I know the first time I ran it, the lead towards the end there, got a little emotional for me, and I had to kind of like stumble through some words, And I'd been singing it over and over again, up from December till when we recorded a few weeks ago. But I think the whole reality of not only the song, but we're really doing this. It just all welled up in me. And it means a lot. It means a lot to me because I know between the two of us and the loss we both had, that this is healing for both of us. You hit that one on the head.
Yeah.
It's cathartic.
It's amazing how sometimes blessings come out of loss, right?
It is. Oh my goodness, yes.
That's where we're at right now. We really feel that God brought us together for a moment like this. Then He's got lots more happy moments for us.
A lot more plans for helping others, and we just can't tell you the joy that we get going to the senior home a couple times a week, and being there with the old folks and just listening to their stories, walking them back and forth to their rooms and stuff. As she's said before, God has a plan for both of us to do good things.
Right.
Very nice.
So I'm wondering, actually, where the two of you think you want to take this song next. You've gotten it recorded, you've gotten it copyrighted, and it's protected. And I'm just wondering if you have any plans to release it on like a global scale or a local scale through church, I'm not sure, but I'm interested in knowing.
Well, just anywhere that people would want to hear it and could benefit from hearing it, however big that scale may be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've played it for some of our church members, for our grief share group. They were very moved by it. So we're just seeing where the Lord's going to take us. We're open to all sorts of possibilities, and we just know Lord's got great plans for us. I still have other poetry, and He's got a lot of music in him. So I think we have a lot of songs.
Well, you actually answered my next question. So I was going to ask you, do you see the two of you collaborating in the future with lyric and music?
Well, I'm thinking we're heading towards marriage. We're going to spend a lot of time together. Might as well be productive in that sense.
Well, no pun intended.
Exactly, right?
No pun intended. It sounds like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it truly is.
Right?
It truly is. God has His hands all over this relationship from the get-go.
Very nice.
And it's just in just that much time. I would have never thought a year ago I would have a song of this caliber under my belt.
Very good.
In my heart.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
fantastic.
Well, it's an honor, such a pleasure to have you guys with us today.
Great
Thank
to be
you
here.
for having us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we will definitely do everything we can to help you guys get that out there so other people can be touched by it as much as we were. And it was an honor for us to work with you on this project.
Thank you all for your help.
Yes.
Oh,
thank
you're
you.
very
Our
welcome.
pleasure. Our
You're
pleasure.
very, very welcome.
Thank you.
All right, you've been listening to Torchlight Productions Radio Network. And from all of us here at Torchlight Productions, have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you for tuning in to Torchlight Productions Radio Network. For more information on Torchlight Productions Recording Studio, you can contact us at 301-801-6868. I'm Mike, and from all of us here at Torchlight Productions, I want to wish you all a good night.